Samurai Dynamo.
Hello and welcome to the, what do we call ourselves, boys?
Samurai Dynamo.
Samurai Dynamo. Why? We have no idea. It was
Just sounds BA.
yeah. I mean, can you, is there anything cooler than samurais, really?
Maybe
And
Dynamite.
Adding the word dynamo.
Mark thinks knights and dynamite.
No, that sounds
Dynamite.
80s or something.
Explosive samurais.
All right.
Should we have a whole video just about us talking about what our name should be?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, why'd I say
All right,
video?
I'm
I don't know
gonna
what this is going to be so far.
This is a podcast for
Yeah,
now.
it's just us talking
Hi,
about.
I'm Ben,
Hey.
and
Hey, Ben.
I'm part of Samurai Dynamo, and here we will talk about various anime video game related content. Josh, introduce yourself.
That's me. I'm Josh. My name's Josh. And I am also a part of this power trio. Yeah. That's pretty much what we're going to do.
And Mark?
We're going to hang out and talk about shit.
Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm being forced to do this against my will.
Nobody helped me.
All right, well, topics for discussion.
I don't know. Anybody see that Halo 5 multiplayer? That shit was dope.
I have not seen it, actually.
Somebody posted
Should I?
an hour.
we're just
Someone posted,
admitting
an hour of
like
it.
how little preparation we have. Like, oh, so have you seen this
No,
thing?
we're not.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're getting into this. This
I
is
mean,
episode 1. It's just kind of letting people know.
We were talking about samurais versus knights a second ago, and I, for one, think that samurais would totally win in a fight against knights.
Yeah,
Didn't
they're
that
more
show
agile,
like
more mobile.
what was that reality TV show, like The World's Deadliest Warriors? I bet you they did an episode on this.
Samurais
Should we
versus knights?
research it?
Somebody look that
right
up
now?
right now.
I don't know.
All right, I'll look it up. I'm
Okay.
on it.
Ben's got it.
Mainly because
I mean,
I'm drinking a soda, so I can't type with one hand.
Oh, that's the first thing that comes up. Samurai versus Knights. Google.
chocolate liqueur. This thing is fucking
All right,
delicious.
so maybe in a
Which
minute we'll just
website?
pause this recording,
Liqueur.
watch that video, and then we'll tell you who's better.
That is chocolatey. Holy shit. Whoa. Are we saying words like that?
Yeah, we're cool.
Is that a thing that
Yeah,
we're
we're allowed to cuss. This is all freedom of speech, bitches.
I can't remember.
We're
Maybe we should keep it down a little bit.
Yeah.
well, we're explicit content. We can talk
I
about.
mean, we don't want like the Nazi
stuff.
moms to like not let their kids listen to this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those Nazi moms.
We don't support Nazis.
Yeah,
I
as soon as
mean,
I said that word, I was like, do
just
I
kidding.
really need to compare random things to Nazis in our podcast?
Well, I'm literally watching a.
I mean, if it's a mean mom, that could be a Nazi.
Dude, I'm about to link you guys to this video.
Draw
This
a
is
little
insane.
stash.
By the way, if you're a feminist and you're watching this, just disclaimer, I might at some point in the future say something that upsets you.
He will.
Wait, time out. I just found a video.
I mean, we're gonna try and stay
Guys,
away from
there's a
political stuff, but
Japanese
I'm fine
armor
with that.
battling
it might
league.
happen.
But knowing me, it's kind of a futile
Nobody's
exercise.
So what?
Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. There's a
There's a Japanese one.
Japanese armored battle league, and they literally
That sounds
wear
really
suits of
cool.
armor and fight with like swords and stuff, like legit.
Can we get into this?
I'm not even kidding right now. Like I will send you the video.
So you're not watching the world's the deadliest.
No,
warriors.
it's a samurai versus a knight right now. I'm watching it. Oh my god, the knight just clobbered him in the face. Oh my, this is brutal. This is so sick.
So I'd like to claim victory in my argument that knights are better
Oh,
than
dude,
samurai.
the knight is kind of
Hey,
the knight is beating.
Put that link in like a list of something somewhere so we can just add it in the
Okay, I'm
description
copying it right now.
That's a good idea.
Hold on,
so that if people want to watch along.
That would be a neat kind of video format. We just watch a bunch of like little neat videos and just discuss them.
That'd be interesting.
All right, well, I just sent you guys the link to that so you can kind of check it out because the samurai just got fucking raped. But I don't think that should affect the outcome of this actual battle because that guy was totally a noob.
Bam.
Is there? I'm on cracked.com. I don't know what cracked.com is, but
It's a website for sure.
the fucking battle. That's what it says. Okay.
Well, that was interesting.
There's so many F words in this website. I can't.
I just totally recorded my burp.
That's awesome.
Proud of you.
All right, I'm done.
What was that show?
So no more funny noises.
All right, I didn't find any actual videos of samurais versus knights, or like actual like information that I felt like reading. So we're just gonna have to stick with samurais winning. We have 2 votes for samurais.
Yep.
Being right isn't a democracy.
In the comment section.
Doesn't necessarily mean I'm right.
Yeah, Josh, you could leave a comment and tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, hopefully wherever we put this, there will be a comment section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's just more work for
we
Ben.
Need to have feedback. Yeah.
So am I the only Naruto fan here, though, by the way?
Define Naruto fan.
Enjoys the series to the fullest and has finished it from beginning to end. Manga.
Yes.
And or up to date with the anime.
Yeah, I know. I am. I guess you could say I used to be a Naruto fan. I sort of just got tired of it.
Oh, so lame.
You are resident Naruto.
This would have been like a better like separate video discussion, to be honest.
I was just throwing that out there for see if we could spark some discussion.
It's conversation. No, I stopped watching Naruto. I don't know why.
Yeah, dude, that Josh. There's so many shows out there for you, and you just stopped watching them all.
For me, it was Toonami's collapse.
Oh,
like I was watching it every Saturday on Toonami.
Bebop. That shit was dope.
And I forgot what happened with Toonami. I guess just they got canceled. I guess they stopped airing all the good stuff. And I just that was probably when I sort of took a little break of anime until I sort of got back into it. But I didn't immediately get back into Naruto.
Shit on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really around for the original Toonami days. I was a little bit young and not into anime.
No, this was like the Saturday. They went through a long period of being weekends only.
Yeah.
It was much better when it was that super early in the morning stuff.
Better or worse?
That's why I used to watch Razafan. I don't know if anybody.
Wait, Josh, tell me about what did you just?
Cowboy Bebop. Oh my god. So I don't know why it took me so long to watch that show. Like Outlaw Star is my shit, and I will watch that forever. But Cowboy Bebop, it didn't have like a terribly, like the overarching storyline only covered maybe 4 or 5 episodes.
Okay.
And then the last 2 like just brought everything back together. But damn, it was good.
Like, is it like an epic? What kind of anime are we looking at? Like, is it like a fighting actiony, or is it like kind of like a down to earth like? Yeah, I don't know.
It had actiony bits, but for the most part, it was just them. They're bounty hunters, so it was just them trying to get their bounties and surviving off of nothing.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Good soundtrack.
Nice.
Definitely.
Favorite soundtrack of all time comes from Sword Art Online. I don't know why. Love it.
I will concur. The
Samurai
soundtrack
Champloo.
that's pretty good.
Freaking love it.
Samurai Champloo.
I was just thinking we tend to have very varying taste in anime. Like I tend to like newer shows, like more contemporary anime. Like that's sort of what I exclusively watch nowadays. Like, and then Josh, you seem to like a lot of older stuff, and then Ben over here is kind of like the long-running shows, Bleach, Naruto.
Everywhere.
Dragon Ball Z, Naruto.
Would Rurouni Kenshin be considered a long-running?
How many episodes is it?
There were 100.
No, it's about 90.
I would throw it in that category.
94.
Anything really over 26, I think, is just a long-running show. I mean, it's not a bad thing. You just,
You like the
if we wanted to force ourselves into categories, that's where I'd put you.
I don't know. I
like shows that end.
I also like kind of a hybrid though. Like I really appreciate like old anime for like what they are. Like they're all hand drawn. I appreciate that like very much so as an art form and like the amount of work that was put into that at that point in time. And I also really love the art style of like new style anime as well. You know what I mean? That's kind of what's gotten me into so many series is the fact that I've learned to appreciate it. Less is just like a cartoon or whatever, and more as like an art form and just like good storytelling.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the movies that you bought?
I watched all of them except Akira, so I've seen Princess Mononoke was really crazy. Have y'all seen that?
I have seen that.
It was, holy shit.
Once
Like, I
again,
was not
another
expecting that
great
it to be that
separate
way.
video discussion.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
But
we'll discuss it at a later
yeah,
date.
but then
but yeah, that was And did you watch Spirited Away?
I did not. I actually don't own that, so I have not watched it. But I mean, I can watch it online. But the ones I have watched, so I saw Paprika. That movie was so insane that I don't even know what the hell happened. Like, I have to rewatch that. Paprika is absolutely insane. And then
Totoro.
My Neighbor Totoro. That was good. Little family film. You know, a little slice of life, touch with your inner child type thing.
Adorableness.
Yeah, and then oh my gosh, I got I didn't know this when I bought it, but apparently Naruto Road to Ninja just came out in English like a few days ago. So today's December 2nd, 2014, and I believe it came out like late November or like really late November. I don't know the company, but I happened to be in New York at that huge Japanese store, and like it was in like the new release section, and I didn't really think about this at the time, but I happened to just grab it, watch it. That movie was so good. Oh my god, I loved that movie. And the fact.
Do you remember the name of that store? Off the top of your head.
The what? The store? Yeah, I have it actually written down. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but I'm going to tell it to you because it was so amazing. So the store I was in New York City. The store is called Kinokuniya Japanese Bookstore and Cafe. It's amazing. Like, it's 3 stores. I'm pretty sure it's 3 stores. I only went on 2 of them because I just ran out of time. But the first floor is like just books and stuff, and it's kind of like, okay, this is just like Barnes & Noble, but it's like Japanese. And then you go up on the second store, and it is literally just like boo, anime manga stuff everywhere, like huge like selection of just like Japanese imports and like American stuff or English, and it was so sick. I was so overwhelmed. But yeah.
Is this a chain?
If it's a chain, I will be very happy, and my life will be complete.
Oh, I guess they only have stores in big cities. That kind of sucks.
Dude, but
we need something.
You know what it made me realize? Like, kind of something interesting. Like, if I ever win big money and I'm just like loaded, I'm totally gonna open like an awesome Japanese import store somewhere where they need one. That'd be a sweet job. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be an interesting thing to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you'd have to be on top of all of the things that are coming out.
Yeah.
But I mean, if people who can open up comic stores do the same thing,
mm-hmm.
it'd be pretty. Somebody could.
It
do
seems
it.
like it's more of like if you had $1 million to spend on something. Like,
yeah.
Like if you won the Mega
it would
Millions,
be. It would be.
You could do this on the side.
No, that's exactly what I'd do. If I won the lottery, I would buy all my cars. I wanted some McLaren P1, F1, that new 1-to-1 ratio car that's like the fastest car in the world now, and I buy all those things. R7, whatever. I could go on all day. I'd buy all those things, and then I would open this manga store.
I don't know. What I do with all the money depends on what mood I am when I get the money.
Is there a certain thing that you would do specifically?
I don't know. I feel like maybe I should just wait until I get the money, assuming I ever do. Which I never play the lottery, so it's not going to happen. Unless my my relative wins the lottery and then dies and leaves everything in the will.
You've never played the lottery? I've almost won like $100,000 on the lottery.
I'm willing to bet that a lot of people almost win the lottery just so that they feel good about it.
You're probably right. Keep playing.
Yeah. People actually don't like the lotteries because it's sort of the argument is like a lot of lower income families and stuff participate in the lotteries, whereas people a little better off tend to not buy into it as much. So it's sort of like state governments and stuff use it for their funding, and people criticize them for it because it's hurting lower income families. I'm not trying to get political here. Y'all brought up lotteries. And I hadn't said anything in a while. This has nothing to do with what we said our videos are going to be.
I mean, has everybody caught up on Sword Art?
Oh yeah, I finally did.
Spoilers, everybody.
That fucking
probably, yeah, likely spoilers.
Yeah,
but if anybody watches Sword Art Online, they're likely caught up to it. So short.
I'd hope so.
Or they don't care, but I don't know why you wouldn't care.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, it's like I don't know why people complain so much about like the first season or like the second half of the first season. I loved every second. Oh.
So I think just because it was so different from like the sort of sense of survival in the first half and struggle and tension, and then it just became like the whole thing circled around Kirito and Asuna, whereas.
But that was sweet, and I don't know why I love.
Yeah, but now it's not though. Now it's more about all of them.
But I mean, it'd be like doing a show where like all the characters are like it'd be like if Lost, the first season, they're all stuck on the island, and then the second season, everybody goes back to the mainland, and no, the show's still called Lost, but they're not on the island anymore.
They're not lost.
And then maybe it's just like someone got arrested and the other guy's got to like help them.
My girlfriend started watching Lost and like got like 3/4 of the way through and then got bored and stopped watching it.
But I used to be critical of it. But I mean, like I've read the first 2 books now, and it seems like the first 12 episodes is straight out of the first 2 books.
Sword Art
Online? Like the whole in the actual Sword Art game.
Yeah.
The however you pronounce that, Aincrad arc. Like it's almost word for word. Like it's almost action for action into the anime.
Well, that's cool though.
There's not really a lot of filler.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
So like what people are complaining about is they're saying, oh, they should have anticipated how popular this was going to be and did 12 episodes of filler in the first arc so that they could have done a second season. With I assume, I haven't read those books. I assume more filler to, bridge the gap to do 26 episodes in the fairy game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I was like,
I really wanted them to do more in the fairy game, like in that arc there.
I think that's what a lot of people kind of complained about. They felt like the fairy or like what did they call that? The Elfenheim?
Yes.
Arc. Mm-hmm. They just like blew through it way too fast, and people were kind of like disappointed with that.
Well, but yeah, I can't.
Like they only explored like 2 regions.
I can't.
Yeah, people wanted to hear more about like the backstory behind the races and stuff. But I mean, like that's so like seems just kind of pointless to me. I feel like if they went that far into it, people would say, "Oh, this is boring."
Well, like I would just said, I'm going to assume that it's pretty accurate. Like the first half is accurate. Like there's nothing you could add unless it was filler. So the second arc, I'm going to assume for the most part is pretty much straight out of the source materials, which I mean you can't fault them for that.
I mean, it
was just going straight off the books. Yeah. You can't say, oh, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was pretty much just him trying to get to Asuna. It wasn't like, oh, let's explore this place and
he didn't care. He just wanted to get her out.
Yeah,
which is cool though. I mean, that was sweet. Like that was like that end fight, oh my god, I thought that was so cool the way he like broke through all that shit and then ended up
pulled out Excalibur.
Yeah, ended up pretty much killing that other dude. Like with the high pain setting. Oh, that was so sweet.
I think I will reiterate this minor criticism of the show and stuff in general. Though I think I've already told y'all this. I feel like a lot of times when they introduce game mechanics in these games, they're there more for a plot purpose. And there's not really, it doesn't seem like there's an effort to make these games seem like 100% plausible. It's just like if we assume we're in a universe where you can actually have one of these headsets and play games, like, would these games be the super popular ones, or would, people phase out these like really absurd mechanics?
And go for the realistic ones? I mean, that's why they were saying Gun-Gale was so popular. It was much more
but even then, like you're talking about like the Gun-Gale seemed to have all the RPG elements of like the other 2 games, and it's like if you're talking a shooter game, wouldn't you just want to have some like giant COD where you just spawn in, or just some giant Halo where you spawn in and it's about like shields and like a traditional shooter as opposed to like an RPG elements where you have to raise your stats so you can carry a certain sniper rifle? Wouldn't you just want to come in? just be able to kill some guy, grab their awesome sniper rifle, and be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you had that technology, you'd really want to go for the escapism. So you really wouldn't be in there for like the 5 minutes that a match is on COD. You'd be in there for like 2 hours.
But I remember my first, one of the original examples I used when I made this argument before was that like the actual Sword Art game, the first game they're in, like they were inside that game, playing that game nonstop, every waking hour for 2 years, and they only got to like the 75th floor. And like if you assume some people were supposed to play that game like in real life, where they just dedicate their weekends and maybe every other evening to it at most, they would not have gotten as nearly as far up the level progression. It's like, why design a game where it takes you upwards of 2 years to get to the max level if you spend all of your every waking hour playing the game? And so there's just a few points of like I would criticize it.
And I think that's why I forget the designer's name, but that's why he started to actually play with the people, was because he wanted to, like, he knew that they would take them forever to get to the top.
I guess what I'm saying is
so he just started to.
I would be a little less upset about. I mean, I'm not really that upset. It's sort of a minor criticism, but I guess it would be a little more plausible to me if they had said like they were only in the game for 6-7 months. And they got to max level.
But I like that they were in there for so long, and like that it just took forever, and like it just kind of made it.
Or they could have just fixed it and said like, apparently, like Kirito could have said something along the lines of, "Oh, well, the creator, like made the progression a lot longer. It was different from the beta kind of thing." Because I mean, people played this beta and they're like, "Oh, I played this beta like nonstop for a week and I only got to level, 5."
Mm-hmm.
Do we know how far up Kirito got
in the book?
I'm going out on a limb. I think it's like 7 floors.
Yes,
I'm going way
I think
out
that's
on
what it was.
Okay. Aren't there? How many books are there? Like 13 or 14?
I don't know. There's a lot.
Good.
But if I wanted to be nitpicky, I could pick apart a few more aspects of this game. And I mean, admittedly, I've already said this. It's a minor criticism, but it feels like the game was definitely designed for the plot. It wasn't really designed to be like, like we think it's cool because what they're doing. But if we actually had these things, I would imagine people would make better games. That would be a little more accessible.
Elaborate on what you would think would be a better game.
Well, the level progression itself just seems way too crazy. Even if you...
Like what?
Well, just that it takes so long to get to really high level. And then...
Well, I feel like they could just spec one specific skill and they would...
Like, I'd probably enjoy a game where you just went in and... Like, maybe some kind of medieval game where you fought with swords and stuff. But all you had were just, you controlled this character and you swung your sword and shield. So you didn't really have a stat system. You could just have a health bar and equipment.
I feel like a game like that would be just good for maybe one session. I feel like people who were looking to go actually into a game would be looking for some sort of progression. If you had a game where you just swung a sword...
Well, then you could have a limited progression, something more along the lines of like Guild Wars. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. Guild Wars sort of like, it's fairly easy to get max level. So it's more about, you make different kinds of characters you want to use, but the progression isn't incredibly long. And then you just sort of get to join in on the end game fun where you're max level and you have fun doing the different kind of in-game competitions and fights. And to participate in everything fully. Like, I imagine if I were actually playing Sword Art, I'd just be stuck in the middle levels forever because I'd never be able to get to the front line and fight all the bosses, which is what the fun seems to be.
I feel like, though, if you were actually playing the game, you would progress in whatever you wanted to progress in. I think what you're looking at is like having a balanced character as a progression, but if you just like stay with strength, maybe, because they were talking about different builds and everything. So if you just stayed with strength, I'm sure you could level.
Well, I think they were
saying
quickly. Like all the individual skills had like a stat from like 1 to 100, 120, whatever it is, or it might have been to 1,000. And you could level your different stats. You could level your agility, you could level your strength, but you also had like a actual level, which like had something to do with your hit points. And so like remember when Kirito killed,
similar to like RuneScape.
Yeah.
How their skills.
That would actually be a good comparison to it, where it's just the kind of game you dump however many hours, you're just better than everybody else. And it has nothing to do with how good you are at swinging the sword or the shield or doing anything like.
So you don't like how their actual like physical or like their real life skills play into the game?
No, I'm not saying I'm against any progression system. I just think all the ones that are hinted at in any of these Sword Art games are very long term. Like, I guess I want to say like I think RuneScape would be a good example where it takes you forever to max your stats in RuneScape or get anywhere close to doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but you could also just like spec archery, and you could level that up.
But then you could get your archery up really high, and you could do a ton of damage with archery. But then you're still only level so and so, and you don't have as much health.
Yeah, but that's what a specialization is. And if you're seriously like specialized in archery, then you really don't need all that much health because you're gonna be standing away from everybody. Hopefully. Short range archery doesn't help very many people.
That would make no sense.
Except Legolas.
I don't know. Like I said, it's not a very huge criticism.
We've
really been digging, but for not a very big criticism, we've been digging into it. Or you guys have been. Well. So I guess this will conclude today's episode. This is very Samurai Dynamo.
Very disjointed video.
Yeah, so...
It'll get better.
It'll get better, we'll get more organized, and we will bring you guys the greatest anime, manga, video game content on Earth. I'm Ben.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Mark, and someone has to edit all this. That's going to be fun. All right.
Peace out.
See what happens with that.
Samurai Dynamo.